Can you ask them to turn the music down because they're harassing the community's upset. People walk by, they don't like the music. Huh?
I said yes, ma'am. We can address that with
Can you please?
Yeah.
Because it's really annoying for the neighborhood, and they're just being ridiculous. But
Yeah, I mean, there's like.
what are they saying?
The limit is like, I believe, 150 feet. So as long as it's not going past 150 feet, like.
Oh,
Can you
it's
measure
in
it?
surround sound. It's on that side of the building
on
too.
that
side?
Yes.
Man, they got
Yeah.
it when they became a religion. That's the best
know.
way to-
But that's a fraudulent. But
They
you know.
came 'cause they know how to use the system.
But what did they call about? What did they say? Like, if I can ask, like, what's the call for? Because this is the third one. They said there was a shooting across the street, hazmat here,
All in the last
and now
3
this.
hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
nothing's
was-
working
it
for
was
them.
just that you guys were out here, and so.
But they know that we're allowed to be out here.
Have
Peacefully.
you ever like done research on any of this? I know you can't be biased,
I've watched-
but it's good to know.
I
Like,
watched one documentary. That's it.
yeah, it's good to know a little bit. You know,
Well, I
so-
wish that, they're human traffickers. They are. They're human traffickers, and they do a lot of criminal. And they
like
are
exactly
abusive to their adult seniors. They abuse children.
You know what I mean? That's I think like the police should just know a little bit about like. I'm not saying like be biased one way or the other.
Like
but,
you said, we're supposed to be neutral.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know.
But none if they're a criminal entity. No, none if they're committing crimes. You can't be neutral. You're the police.
100%, ma'am, you are correct.
And there's people who, right. So I am not going to agree with the neutrality. No, they are committing
But
crimes
they have
against humanity. No, they do not. Not when they're committing crimes. Until you find out. But once there's but you're supposed to investigate. And then I am going to your IG, everything to investigate this nonsense because you're not supposed to be neutral when there's a crime involved.
There have been assaults after assaults.
Yes.
And they're just covering it up, and it's just been. This is our First Amendment right to be
Yes,
able to do
but
this.
see, that's
and
the
we thank
problem
you.
with
You've been the most
neutrality.
real and amazing.
Yes, you have been the
They
most
didn't
real.
come out here and be like,
Absolutely.
you guys gotta go.
Absolutely.
My partner and I, we told them the same thing. First Amendment, right?
Absolutely.
They're allowed to be out here. Like,
But-
you guys
Is that
are
what they
trust-
call for?
Yes, but yet
602.5?
What?
602.5, is that what it was?
It wasn't even for trespassing. It was just that you were out here.
But you know what? Yesterday, the reason why we're out here in like a little bit in bigger force today is because one of their people assaulted a protester. She was a woman by herself, and he pushed her, shoved her into the car,
Did
and
you
then
call us?
yes, and
Yes,
he
and
ran
they
inside,
didn't-
and they would not help the police with him, so they could not arrest him because they said we need a search. They needed a search
They
warrant.
wouldn't let us go in.
No, but they're letting you in tonight. So that's what I'm saying. That neutrality stuff. No. I know what you're saying, but no.
I get what you're saying, but they got it.
They do not. Not when there's a crime involved.
We can't force our way.
I agree. I do. But see how yesterday, when it's in their convenience, they would not let the police in. But today, when they want you, then they open up their door for you.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, right?
Isn't
Right.
that funny? But you've been you've been wonderful. Like
Yeah,
you've been.
you are the best one we've ever dealt with.
No, North Hollywood's better because I know this division much better. They're not gonna, you're not going to get as bad as Hollywood is very jaded because they've been with Scientology for many years.
Yeah, Hollywood deals with a lot of different stuff, but I don't know, jaded or not, we just.
Well, they're very connected to Scientology because Scientology donates a lot of money to Hollywood Division's youth programs. So they come and they'll sing and dance, for do a song or whatever, and leave with a $20,000 giant check, even though they're tax exempt. But they give it, in the form of a check. And so how, you know what I mean? At that point, if you're getting big checks from somebody, you're not gonna be rude. You're going to be a little bit more neutral than you maybe need to be. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know where the funding comes from. I'm just a piece.
That's right. I get it. But your youth I support the youth programs, but not by Scientology, not a religion. That's especially since nobody's willing to look into their human, like how they abuse their seniors, how they traffic children, they traffic families. And there's so many survivors that want to tell their story, and they are through the protest. But we really want the police to hear and listen and realize that, when you go to these calls, they are abusing the community as well. You just saw, he's seeing it like today.
I think it's the lack of sympathy that comes from, because people can be very angry. Like if you went through something that was crazy, you can be very passionate. It feels like the cops in Hollywood aren't sympathetic towards that.
Exactly.
And they're kind of just very judgmental, and they're like, oh, you shouldn't scream. But if you couldn't see your dad anymore and you were getting, if that was the case and you were getting abused, you're going to be very passionate about it. It seems like they're not sympathetic. I think that's like one of the big things. Would you guys probably say
Yeah, and
that
they're
they
also
should
very
be
much, I think
sympathetic?
And I'm not going to say that, they're very much influenced by, because Scientology gets very involved with, we're helping the police with our Narcanon programs. We're helping the police in anti-drug and anti-crime, and they get on your CPAP boards, so they infiltrate and get very connected to the police. And but then so then the police just see them as a partner rather than looking deeper as to what's going, because then it kind of like when you're getting that benefit from them, and I'm not blaming you or anyone, but I'm just saying, but then who's going to look deeper into it of these allegations, because it's just, and that's where that's the frustration right now, is we want you guys to look deeper.
1988 to 2000 with the same exact story, and then they put a little video the week after about how they're a criminal. And then it's like every single guy, and it's just like, after a while it gets a little over the top, like the people that ran it, they'll be like, oh no, couldn't have happened. It's like, this guy says it, and then this guy says it, and this guy. And after a while, it's like, it gets to the point where it's kind of insane.
Yeah, so we want to encourage you to learn more about it, and like other officers, like we want to do, to look at the documentaries, but even just to hear the victims. So like I went to the police commissioner meeting today. I'm asking them to please, look into this, where they're manipulating, because they're manipulating. It's called fair gaming, I think it's called, right? Fair
game, yeah.
Fair gaming, where they infiltrate the community to get the police to say, look how great we are. We're helping you. And so of course, if you have a partner, of course. But then so you don't look look here, not here. But we want you guys to look here, over there, at what's really going on, how they treat people. They're seniors. It's just horrible.
One thing that I'll say is, like, when you guys generate calls like this, like, you get patrol officers like my partner and I, right? And, like, something that's, like, deep as what you're saying is, like, way beyond, like, the scope of what we do.
Right, and you're just here on a call. You're here because
Yeah.
But that's why, that's why I'm just bending your ear since he's talking to her, to them. I'm bending your ear to try to say, please be more.
It needs to reach the federal level.
Yeah,
the
it does.
etc.
And the IRS.
The three-letter department that I had.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Look at the the LA Times this past week. They just did a big article on how Scientology fair gamed the district attorney's office and LAPD detectives. Hold on, wait. I'm sorry. I was getting. That
You hear this going over here?
yeah, because I'm like, I know, sorry. It's like I forget what I was saying. Oh, that they fair gamed the people who are doing the Danny Masterson trial. The Danny Masterson trial. He's a Scientologist.
From that 70s show.
And he date raped numerous. He date raped. He just got.
Sure.
He just got convicted for 2 30-year sentences for date raping 2 or 3 victims, right? Mm-hmm. But there's like 23 altogether, supposedly, allegedly. And so he's in prison now for the next 2 30-year terms. But they fair gamed the actual DA and LAPD, and tried to run the DA's person off the road, and broke into places and all this stuff.
Explain to me again what the fair game thing is.
The fair game is something that Scientology does. They're doing it to us. Like, this is
a
all fair
policy.
gaming. Actually, you calling is fair game. They're calling you as fair game.
It's
So
harassment. It's abusing of the systems.
Yes, they may run us. I mean, he just had his bike stolen. I've had them calling my people who are influential in my life to try to get me to quit protesting. They do a lot of different intimidating.
Anybody that speaks out against Scientology is thrown to their policy of fair game, where they can show up at your doorstep and harass you and follow you. And
People have had their dogs killed.
Supposed to be, like, getting even.
Yes, getting it. That anything's game. Like L. Ron Hubbard said that anything, when it's your enemy, anything is fair game. There's been people who left Scientology and who protested against them, and their pets were killed. So they do a lot. But please read it's the LA Times within the past week that they did it to your own department, like your own detectives and the DA's office, and they were afraid. Like, other people said, no, we're not joining this case because we don't want to be run off the road. We don't want our houses broken into. So this crazy stuff, and that's a major. So it's finally hitting the mainstream. that's fair game, and that's why you're called here. That's what they're doing. They know. They've been told many times they know that we have the right to be here, but they just want you to come to harass. Hopefully, it'll distract us. It will, see, now we're not paying attention to them. We're talking to you, right? So they can sneak whoever it is out the door, which is what they're doing. They're sneaking people out the side, I guarantee it. And they will call you, too, to ask them to walk them across. I've had that, too. Just so much.
It feels really bad for you when you do that. I, went down a whole bit. I've never even actually.
Sorry, I got to distracted.
I can listen to you all day.
Watch all their live streams.
But even this music is part of their tactic.
Yes.
And
At
because we're all
2200,
live
it becomes
streaming,
415.
just for transparency, we're all live streaming, and they're trying to get us to get like a copyright strike to get it taken
That's
down.
what they do.
But this is clearly over
But it's
the decibel
tormenting-
level. But
No, I would really like it because you know what? The neighbors have come up and complained to us
The
on numerous
neighbors
occasions. They hate it
this
because of the
place.
music.
Yes. Yes. We're trying to encourage it, but they're afraid. They're afraid because of the fair gaming.
Yeah.
The thing though, like when they call in, they can say they want to stay anonymous. Like
Okay.
they don't have to say like, hey, this is me, contact me back. They can just say
Stop fair gaming us, please.
I want to remain anonymous and like
I will convey that information.
Cheers.
The fact that they're able to do. Thank you for that. That's huge. We need the neighborhoods involved.
We do, and that's what we're working too. Like we're talking to the neighbors, and they for the most part, they either don't have a clue what's going on or they hate them already, like they know. But we're trying to bring awareness too, because they don't know why they're being bombarded. And they play this. I've been here well past the 10 o'clock mark, even at midnight, 1 in the morning, pass by to see what it is, and they're blasting it. And so I've called, and it takes, they don't come,
So I mean, you guys, I'm sure plenty of officers have explained to you guys like how our calls get coded and everything,
Yeah.
and how we respond. Like one of the a noise complaint is like just like
Low level.
These like critical for us to get to kind of thing.
I get that.
Depending on how busy it is, like that's why it does sometimes take us so long. It took us a long time to get to this call. We've had this I think since 5 p.m.
Okay, so that's when you got here. They called when you got here.
Well, I got here at 5 p.m.
Yeah, and
20
then-
minutes later, the music came on.
And then there was a shooting call.
And then
Did you
there was
guys
a
respond to
shooting
that? The
call,
shooting
hazmat
call?
call.
Hazmat call that. But see, this was lower priority. It was great meeting
No,
you.
thank you. It was so nice to meet
was
you.
great
I watch
meeting
your
you.
videos. I'm watching. I've seen
Appreciate
everybody.
you.
Yeah, come back again
Yeah.
because
I
you're really
remember
good.
I saw you guys after I got food. I was like,
You're a delight. So thank you
Yes,
for being
keep coming
here.
back. 'Cause
Keep all you
we're
guys
gonna be
doing.
sitting here
Pleasure.
because they're harboring a criminal. They're harboring somebody. The guy
Not
here
you.
assaulted, not you, but them. No,
Not you. Not you.
No, not you, them. I don't know, but you don't want to be associated with Scientology. You don't want to be associated with
I
them.
think
They're
this is
hot
a
mess.
delivery guy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not you.
I was like, oh god.
I know, not scary. I wouldn't want to deliver here. But I used to be a part of your CPAP, so she's the president here is a part of the CPAP. So she knows darn well what the rules, she knows. They're just harassing. And taking away, these officers could be fighting real crime right now.
Independent now and
Is
United.
there another officer inside, or? Oh, you guys are just kind of like babysitting us in a way, or?
No, I think they're chatting.
While you're leaving, you start talking to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
we
okay,
talked
okay.
to them.
No,
No,
I
they're-
was just wondering, like, we hope we're not holding you up or
You're
anything,
like
but.
wondering like what's the tactic
Yeah,
for
like
us to come out
I
here
didn't.
babysit?
You just never know, like just to monitor.
But can we make a
but-
police like
Yeah.
since you're here about the noise and like address it like by police?
What we'll do is we'll drive around and get our own assessment of the 350
Okay, that's fair.
Like I said, I've never been on the backside.
Could we walk over there?
This is the first time being here.
Really?
I've been at this division for like
Oh, well, you got a good division.
Yeah, well, they've had officers called on us too. They had a big party here, and they called saying that we were being like damaging the because they were making it so I couldn't pass through. Nobody was doing anything, but it's just
it's the 3 foot wall.
huh?
You just have to provide 3 feet on the sidewalk to get through. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, well, they didn't. They had it completely shut down.
Yeah.
And but they had it because they had a permit, but after hours they had to take it down. So somebody moved it so I could get by. And
Now we have an independent.
did they call?
That's my company.
Did they jack you off? Or they? Was it a fake call? No. Oh, they fake called you. They're calling taxis.
They're trolling.
Yeah, they send pizzas. They do all that.
They told me he's talking to the cops. I don't know which one.
No. That they gave a fake call. See that's a fake call. There they are. They're jacking off cabs now. There you go. Yeah, now they're sending cabs. Now they're sending fake cabs. They said that he's yeah, because it said for Ben who's talking to the police. It's like, it never gets old. I don't, yeah, you must be Ben. Yeah, or I'm Ben. I was talking to the police.
Okay, that's fine. You'll hear it. But no, thank you for being so.
Yes, and you've been amazing and really listening. I appreciate it because we really need to be heard. But please look up the LA Times. Last week they did an article how Scientology fair gamed your very own LAPD detectives and the DA's office in the Danny Masterson trial. That there were detectives with LAPD and the DA's office that would not work on the case for fear of what was going on. The DA's personnel was run off the road. Their houses were broken into, and they're saying it was Scientology. It's all part of fair gaming. You're here today because of fair gaming. Those two taxi drivers that just lost fares is part of the fair gaming.
They just pulled up as part of the fair gaming.
Yeah, and then the police were called for a shooting incident over here, hazmat here. It's just all kinds of harassment.
I do have one last question. Do you happen to have a noise decibel reader, just so we can get a gauge on?
No.
Okay. What was the last thing?
But they
really do not equip us.
I know.
I know. We need it. We're not taking good enough care of you. Yes, we're no, yes. I was saying, do we need to? Are we not taking care of you? Are we not giving you enough? Like, do we need? What do we need to do? You know?
Oh my God.
I know. It's like we're not taking care of them. We need to get them. We're going to get people. We need to get North Hollywood sound. What do you call them? Decimal. Yeah, that's what we need. We're going to have to equip them.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. You've been great. But you will check, and if it's loud, please. Because all right, thank you. Yeah, you were great.
I just
And you got high.